Hey guys, welcome back to High Conflict Co-Parenting Unplugged. This is where I talk to you guys a little bit about my divorce, separation, and co-parenting journey with somebody that I was married to for 20 years that I recently found out was a covert narcissist. I think one of the biggest struggles I have with co-parenting currently is the lack of trust. Before, when we had separated, probably about 3 years ago, he was doing some therapy. And at that time, even though I knew in my heart that I didn't really love him anymore the way I used to love him, and that I didn't really want to be with him anymore, at least I could still trust him, I still thought of him as still a somewhat good person. Here's the really sneaky thing about a covert narcissist, okay? It could take them years for them to show you who they really are. But once you reject them enough and you make them feel shameful enough, they have no problem in hating your guts and raging out on you and showing you their true colors. Now, my ex was always kind of like a passive aggressive man. He never had much of leadership qualities, you know what I mean? He never showed initiative. He wasn't like the go-getting type of person. So was I surprised when he started dating somebody and didn't have the balls to just come out and say, hey, I've been talking to this person? No, not surprised at all. What I was surprised about was the irrational decision to take the kids to meet her on like a second date when he's only been dating her for maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. Let's put aside the fact that a rational person would think that it's crazy to introduce your kids to somebody that you've only officially been semi-dating for like less than a month. But I'm talking mostly about the breakdown of trust. He didn't have the courtesy to tell me that he was getting a little bit more serious with a woman that he might be talking to. I get that if you're just only talking to them, maybe you don't want to say it out loud because you don't know where it's going. But if you're like consistently dating them, I do feel like there should be ample opportunity for you to tell your ex just so they're informed that this might be happening in the future. Just grow some balls and say, hey, I just want to let you know that I'm currently dating somebody. I really like her and I think it's going to go somewhere. Okay, so that was the first breakdown of trust. I do remember a few months prior to this, he was really angry about me about something. And he said something to me like, I don't think that's a good idea because if I wanted to date somebody else, like that would just impede on my life or whatever. And I don't know, I was really shocked by this because I was just like, well, first off, we're talking about what's the best interest of the kids, not for you. Second, when you say things like that, it really makes me feel like you're going to put another woman before our kids. And his response was, I would never do that. I would never put another woman before our kids. Okay, so let's fast forward to Thanksgiving when he calls me. He says, I really want to bring my girlfriend to my Thanksgiving dinner. This is like only like 3 weeks after he did that really untrustworthy like first date thing, by the way. And I said, fine, I can't tell you what to do with your life, but have you asked the kids how they feel about it? And so he asked them and they said, no, we're not comfortable yet. We need more time. And then he was just like, okay, well, if they're not okay with it, is it okay if I drop the kids off to you then? And I said, of course, I will take my kids anytime, any day, any place. I will drop everything to be with my kids. But what you just did there was put her above your kids. So once the kids told him they weren't comfortable yet, they needed more time. Thank God he was a rational human being then. And he actually said, okay, I understand. I won't be including her this Thanksgiving. So after that, I just had a really brief discussion with him on our porch just saying, hey, can we just agree to a timeline, maybe like 6 months? And he agreed to it then. And then later said that I coerced him, but I didn't. So instead of basically just telling me to my face that he was thinking that he wanted to break our verbal agreement because he didn't really agree with it, he wanted to go behind my back and invite this woman to their Christmas and basically told the kids to their face that he wanted to break our agreement because it really didn't work for him and it has no benefit to him whatsoever. Again, this is not about him. This is not how it benefits him. It's what's the best interest of the children. So now there's a breakdown of trust again. So now we're going to go ahead and fast forward to New Year's, right? So the second time the kids met her, he decided to have the kids sleep over at his house. These are not thoughts of a rational adult that cares about the feelings of his children. Because meeting the person you're dating is one thing, having her sleep over the night when they've only met her twice is an entirely different thing. And then he wants to sit down with me and make arguments about how I should trust his judgment and how I should trust that he knows how to pick the right woman. Yeah, when you do bullshit like that, it doesn't make me trust you or trust the woman that you choose. If you want to be trusted, then you need to do trustworthy shit, right? And so now after 20 years of marriage, I don't believe anything he says. And it's just sad because in order to have a healthy co-parenting relationship, you have to be able to trust the other party. And right now, I don't really feel like he's making very rational decisions. And I feel like he's living in a delulu world. And it makes it so difficult. Anyway, if you're going through the same thing, drop a comment or a like. I know like this doesn't solve anything, but at least then you know that you're not alone. We're all going through this breakdown of trust. And maybe one day I can report that he gained my trust back. But if he really is a covert narcissist, I don't think that will ever happen. Thanks for tuning in today. Make sure you subscribe to keep up more on my high conflict journey. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.